Interesting.
I think the interesting thing for me is just like, what is this? Like, how do you make a decision on Nick moving forward? Because I don't think it's accurate to say, I don't think it's fair to say that the faults of the season entirely rest on Nick. I don't think that's true, and I wouldn't back that at all. But at the same time, when you disappoint in a season where you look at the roster and you look at the situation, you say, clearly you can get more out of it. We saw it last year, right? With a roster that wasn't as experienced and wasn't as good as this year's roster, considering they've upgraded clearly at center with Jakob. When you see that difference in the results, obviously the natural thing is to look at the coach. I think that was the large part of what David Thorpe, when we had him on, and also on his podcast, the True Who Pod, where he discussed it, right? In these types of situations, you kind of look to change the coach. For example, in Atlanta, another situation where you're like, look, the talent on paper is good. They've been to a conference finals before with that roster. They've been playoff team with that roster. Why are they so disappointed this year? They fired the coach, right? Yeah. So I wouldn't think it's unnatural to look at it. But I think from Nick's perspective too, it's like, well, he's coming up on a situation where next year is the final year of his deal, right? So the Raptors probably need to offer him an extension of some kind this summer to sort of, because coaches very rarely go into the last year of their deal as sort of that lame duck sort of expiring kind of situation. So I don't know. I want to open up that conversation first and foremost. We'll put aside the Udoka stuff for now because I really don't even want to get into all the details.
Yeah. No, I think this is interesting, especially like you mentioned, Nick, by all accounts, you look at his track record winning the championship, you would say that's the most successful head coach that this franchise has had. And, I think he clearly has, deserved to not have to go into next season as a lame duck going into his last year. And when you're evaluating Nick, I do agree with you. On the one hand, you can say that like it is hard at times to evaluate how Nick has been as a head coach these last couple of years because of just the roster that he's been given, right? Like we've seen what Nick can do with a championship roster, which was on a 1-year window in retrospect because, Kawhi didn't like Toronto, and what he was able to do with a winning team. But at the same time, though, I do think the Raptors are no different from any other organization. When you've been through this period now of a few down seasons and when the roster has turned over, I don't think Nick has suddenly become a bad, coach from the championship season, but at the same time, is he the right coach moving forward with the core group that you're moving forward with? Yeah. And that core group starts, if you're looking long-term, with Scottie, right? Like you can talk about Fred, talk about Pascal and their future here. Like at the end of the day, aside from the X's and O's, there's also, I think, a people aspect to it. And so many times we see coaches.
It's about the Jimmys and Joes.
Yeah, but it's about the Jimmy Butlers and the Joe Wieskamps. But at the end of the day, you mentioned the Atlanta situation, right? Like, did Nate McMillan just suddenly become a bad coach? Because he was the same coach that led them, whatever credit you want to give them to that conference finals run, right?
Yeah.
And how is it that this year there was reports at the start of the season that he literally was considering resigning? Like he just leaked this report to Shams that the situation had gotten so bad with Trae Young that he just did not want to be the coach anymore, right? So a lot of times, what I'm trying to say is these decisions is more beyond just saying whether Nick is a good coach or not. It's just, is he the right coach? Is he meshing with these players? And is he meshing with these players moving forward?
Yeah. I mean, look, listen, the idea of coaching is so intangible that it is very difficult to definitively say this guy's the problem or this guy's not the problem. Realistically, it's a circumstance thing, it's a politics thing. It's also just a preference thing, right? Because again, it's not tangible in the results. You don't see stats for coaches other than wins and losses. And if we're going off wins and losses, obviously this year's been down, but on the whole, Nick has done a good job. I think from my assessment of the situation is when Nick first got hired as head coach, he brought in a lot of great ideas. And I know they're great ideas because, one, they won a championship with those ideas.
This is Nicky Nurse, baby.
It's Nicky Nurse, baby. And second thing, a lot of other teams started copying those ideas.
Yeah, and number 3, Kawhi lit up like a Christmas tree the first time that they met.
He probably was he probably drew a box.
This was widely reported.
And he drew a 1. And then he's like, this is how we're going to be Steph Curry in the finals. You know how legendary that is? How many other coaching strategies can you even name that won championships?
Yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
he pulled out like a middle school, like grade school strategy
Right.
in the
So
finals
there's a
on
lot
the
of
best player.
out of the box thinking. And of
Sure.
course, eventually over time, it comes around. When all the players
Mhm.
come in Toronto and they say, we know what's coming.
Yeah.
Right. Because the first time I remember when it happened to them, they didn't know what was coming. And it hit them and it shocked them. And it probably most times resulted in them losing.
Mhm.
Right. Eventually, when you go around, when other coaches start doing it, when Steve Kerr, the coach that you beat in the finals, starts running box and one against you, they're like, oh, you want to run box and one against Steph Curry? We're running box and one against Fred. Right.
Mhm.
When that advantage is taken away. So it's like, okay, the first set of ideas were really great, all things considered. What's the next set of ideas? Because that's how the league works. They're going to grow and adapt. Right. So if you're going to be one of those ideas people, can you constantly come up with those ideas? Not just once, not just twice, like over and over and over again. The other part of it is, and I think that this is one thing that coaches with a lot of longevity get to, like, what is your people managing skill?
Yeah.
Right. The Spurs lose all the time. The Spurs are literally lose all the time. They'll blow huge double-digit leads all day. Right. Every coach, every player that comes out of that system, the only guy I really can think of is DeJounte Murray.
Right. He did the podcast interview where he was talking about the culture wasn't the best there for him.
But like, for example, I interviewed Yak like earlier in the month, right? And, you know, Jakob was talking about, you could just tell his affection for Pop and that personal connection he built. It wasn't about the wins and losses. It was actually about, you know,
So
again,
the Jimmies and Joes.
it was really about the Jimmies and Joes. And that's,
Where did that come from, by the way?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's just one of those like nonsense.
I've only ever
statements.
heard you use it.
No, I think people said.
Did you pick this up on the street?
I
or
did not
something?
pick this up on the street.
Okay,
Although
okay.
my whole life existence is ESL, so maybe I did. My point is, though, you got to be really, really good with handling the people aspect,
but
right?
that's
Can
the
you
thing.
get people to buy in? It doesn't necessarily matter what you're running if they don't run it hard.
Yeah.
It matters first and foremost if the players play hard, if they play focused, if they play coordinated, and if you're able to inspire them, reach them. And here's the thing. It's not binary, right? It's not that you can reach players or you can't reach players. It's obviously, as humans are, people come in and out of situations. The season's long. People get tired. People get injured. People have situations. They get disappointed. They get happy. Obviously, all of that's going to affect us. Just because you're a coach doesn't mean you can, you know, control them. They're not puppets. But how consistently can you inspire that? How consistently can you build those bonds with people?
No,
I think that's the other aspect. That's the part where longevity for coaches, they have that element.
No, I think that's.
I think for you know, for strategy, again, you better be really brilliant. You bring fresh ideas every year, basically, every month, basically.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really great point because, like, you go back to talking about the Heat today. You look at Eric Spoelstra; he's one of the longest tenure coaches, and he has survived through the different eras, right? And you mentioned Greg Popovich. I think Steve Kerr is starting to enter that realm as well with how long he's been in Golden State.
Sure.
These people become, you go back to culture, these people become a part of what that organization is about, right? Like regardless of the turnover, like you mentioned, of the roster, the players, the playing style, all of that stuff, they're embedded in that organization. So I think this is a huge decision for the Raptors because Nick has been here. You know, you can even go back to before 2018 when he was announced as a head coach. Like, he has been here for like over a decade now, I believe. Like, or near a decade now, like as an assistant and then as a head coach, right?
Yeah, roughly 2013.
Yeah, so 2013. So we're like coming up like around a decade now. So he's been here. So I think this is a huge decision for the organization. And like I remember Masai talking about last year that, you know, when there was rumors about the Lakers wanting to you know, talk to Nick.
Got you.
And, you know, he was talking, you know, he was like, yeah, I would, you know, everybody would love to have someone like Nick, essentially, right? And I think he made some soccer analogies.
No, his dream was, his statement was, the Lakers dream like I dream.
Yeah.
He literally said, you dream.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I do wonder, I don't know, like, has this season impacted that, how they view Nick? And honestly, the other thing, and we'll probably have to talk about this another time, is like, what does Nick want as well, right?